This is a Jeanneau Sun Odyssey 490, and there's some very nice ideas with this one, and also a rather intriguing layout. So I'm going to take you on board of this one and give you the full tour. We're going to board via this drop-down transom. So this, of course, folds up flat against the back to close that off, but when you're somewhere nice, you want to swim off the boat or access the tender, then this drops down. You can see how there's a ladder there that flips over and down into the water as well. A couple of other things we find here. So this one underneath here, we open that, is for a life raft. So that's there, easy to get to, whether this is down or up. And the one next to it is a pretty enormous storage area. There we go, so deck gear or maybe a paddleboard or two, that kind of thing, could live in there. Now what they've done with this, which I think is quite nice, is they've put walkways around here onto the side decks, and that means that you don't need to scramble over the coamings to get onto the side decks, and that in turn means that they can bring these up quite high, and it makes that a much more enclosed area just there. The other thing you can do with that, incidentally, is put an infill into it. If you're in a med, you're doing a lot of sunbathing, then of course that makes a great area to lie out on. And in fact, it also extends out, because if we find this little catch here, give it a turn, that then drops flat. That comes out with it. There we go. And that makes a massive sunbathing area, particularly if you put that one in there as well. That's really nice, as I say, for med-based cruising. That's fantastic. Let's drop that one back up again. There we go. And we'll have a stroll around the front. These rails are nice and high. It feels a very safe boat to walk around. Very wide side decks as well. There's a couple of interesting things here. This one's got the slab reefing. I think you can have in-mast as an option. But what they have done is they brought the gooseneck right down low. And the reason they've done that, first, it gives you more sail area, of course. You imagine the higher up this is, the less sail you have down here. But actually the main reason for doing this is because if you had the slab reefing and this is up here where it normally is, it's quite hard to get the sail cover up and round and reach up to the top of it. So that just keeps it all nice and low and easy to access. Let's head on forward a bit further. It's roller furling up on the bow, of course, as these things always tend to be. This one here looks like a hatch over the forward cabin, but actually it's not. What it is a massive deck locker. So if you want sails in there, or again, I don't know, inflatable paddle boards, anything you like, of course, really, you can drop that into there, and it's just a really good storage area right up the front of the boat. Electric anchor winch on this one. The anchor chain lives in this little locker next to it. You can see the remote control for it. It's not actually there at the moment, as you can see, but that's where it would go. This boat is absolutely brand new, so hence it's not being completely commissioned yet. And that then is the rig. Pretty cool, huh? Let's have a walk back down this side and I'll show you the cabin. The cabin I really like on this one. It's got some nice features. Big spray hood, so you've got plenty of protection if you're somewhere where the weather isn't quite so clement. And again, you've got this thing where you can just walk down here and you walk right round into the cockpit, seating at the back, and that all works really well. If you're wondering what these circular fellows are, those are for an emergency tiller. So if you had a steering gear failure, you can still control the boat. These table sides flip up, so you can get a lot more dining here if you want it. There's a big compass in the centre there, of course, as you can see. Twin wheels, and the winches as well, they're right back by the wheels, so again, you're not scrabbling over people to use the winches. The sheets come round and down and directly to them. Let's head on forward and we'll have a look inside. We'll go up this side. There's a big deck locker actually in here. Let's just show you in here. Like so. That's the side boarding ladder. And then we'll head forward again. You've got winches up here on the coach roof. This one is a power winch. And then this is access down below. So these, rather than washboards, just close across, and of course then that slides over. And if we head down here, now the interior finish on this one is actually, I think it's called grey cedar. It looks very nice. There is a teak option if you want something more traditional, but this of course is a very contemporary finish. But look how much space there is in here. This is really lovely. And what I do like in particular is this separate section down here. Now this of course is great for navigation, but also a lot of people now are working on their boats, because with the work from home and that kind of thing, people are just going, well, I'm just going to go down to the boat and spend the summer on the boat. I can work on my laptop. And so this almost gives you like a little separate office area. It means you've got the whole family on board, the kids can be up here messing about, and you've got your own little zone. I think that works really well. Over here, galley on the port side. These pull out to give you obviously glasses in there and storage. And if we come around to the other end of that unit, this one's got the bin in, and also cutlery drawers in here as well. I think that's rather nice, all nicely shaped. I like little details like that. So that is that fellow. You've got a load of storage, of course, all around the galley. This is neat. It's a top loading fridge, so when you're out sailing you can get things out of there when the boat's heeled over without stuff falling out. But when you're in harbour, they've also put access to it down here. Gimbaled oven, of course. It's a gas oven and a hob. But there is also a microwave. You just press down on that and it pops up. So you can have your microwave just here if you want to use it. That runs off the shore power. Over here, a load more storage. This is the sort of boat you might want to go down and spend a month or two on. As I say, it's great because if you want to work on the boat as well, you can do. But that is a really nice galley area. I like the lighting they've put in here as well, all down underneath at floor level. And also you can see it tucked away in places like this. That all works well. Hatches up above. And then more over on this side. This is quite interesting. This seat here, it's actually fixed. Gives you loads of room to walk through, but when you're using it to dine, what you can do with this, you can do it one-handed, is it just, there we go, pivots out like that. So it's still attached. It's not going to go flying around if the seas are rough, but it just means you've got more room then around the table. This folds out, as you can see, like so. And then when you're not using it and you want it out of the way, it just drops back again. And in fact, you might notice that table is on telescopic legs. You can drop that down and make that into another big double bed if you want to. Let's go and look at the owner's cabin. That's up here in the bow. So doorway just here. We'll head on through. What's nice about this is the bed is nice and low, and it's square as well. A lot of beds in the bow of boats, they tend to be very pointed because of the shape of the boat, but with this one, because they had that huge deck locker right at the bow, that bulkhead is further back and it makes this a much squarer room. As a result, you've got hull windows on either side, you've got deck hatches up above, these open, so you can get ventilation through here, and they have blinds that come across as you'd expect. Those there are the infill cushions for that table in the saloon, so you can make that into a double bed if you want to. And then this is, find the catch, there we go, illuminated locker in there. You've got some nice areas next to the bed for dropping your bits and pieces of an evening and reading lights either side. And then over here again, a whole load of storage about the place, like this. And up here, and over here. Make a very comfortable boat to spend some time on. But one thing I do like about this area, you might have spotted it already, is the way that this wraps round. And then you've got this area in here. So if we head down through here, this is where the shower is. That's in there. There's an opening hatch up above. Again, of course, there's a blind that comes across. So if you want some privacy in there, you've got it. But it also means you can ventilate this area really well. This is a shower door that comes across. And opposite this is the sink. And you might be wondering, well then, where's the loo? Well, if we head round this side, and with that door closed over, there's the loo in there. And that, again, separate wash basin. It's brilliant. Again, if you're spending a lot of time on the boat, it means that if someone's using the loo, somebody else can shower or get ready, do the makeup, whatever else you want to do in this area, and it just makes the whole area a lot more usable. So that is the owner cabin. If we head back down the boat, it's a 3-cabin boat and 2 heads. So we'll head back through here. And what we have here is a guest cabin that runs back underneath the cockpit. Decent size, nice double bed. Again, as you'd expect, storage everywhere in places like this. So that's a really good size. And tucked away down under here and so on. And then what you also have in here, which is quite neat, is this is ensuite access to the day heads. So there's access from there so people can come down the steps and use the loo during the day, or indeed cabin 3 of course would also use this loo, but this cabin has ensuite access. And there's a separate shower stall in that one as well. Nice, huh? And then if we head over onto the port side, back past this area, I do like this. I think that's a nice touch. Cabin 3. Again, double bed. Again, a load of storage in places like this. I like these windows they put up here as well, so you've got a view out into the cockpit. There are blinds that drop down, so again, you can have privacy if you want it. And you've got an opening section up here for a bit of ventilation. And indeed here, so you actually get a through flow of air. Very nice indeed. I think that's a really lovely boat. The only thing we haven't seen is the engine. That's underneath here. It's a Yacht diesel. And he did tell me how powerful it was, and I've forgotten. However, I think it's 80 horsepower. Do check if it's important, but pretty sure it's an 80 horsepower Yacht diesel. That, of course, is designed really just to get you out of harbour and get you sailing. But clearly, if you were becalmed, there's plenty of power to get you home. And you can see there's panels in the side here and here, so you can get round to the sides of the engine as well for maintenance. Excellent. Let's drop that fella back down. And there we have it. Let's head back up into the cockpit, I think. Looks like it's going to rain, doesn't it? It was sunny earlier. Oh well. Let's go and sit by Maggie and say huge thanks to Sea Ventures. They've organised this tour for me. I'll put a link to those guys in the description. And huge thanks as ever to you guys for watching. We will catch you on another one of these very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.